Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So, in this lesson we're going to carry on with the special move movement. And we'll begin in that script now. I'm going to reduce the projectile speed to 4. Let's save that off because I think that was one of the problems we had in the previous video. So I've just downsized Visual Studio, come to the SP1 in the resources folder, and we'll just reset the script. I'll change it to 4. So we'll just make sure that's saved off. And now we're going to come to wait for special move animations in the player 1 movement. So here where we have if special move energy ball does not equal null, and we're going to come below that and we're going to say else if in the brackets special move 1 energy ball does equal null. We'll come to the end, we'll open and close brackets again. And we'll just put this into the comments. So else if energy ball does equal null. And what we're going to do, we're going to copy all of this code and we're going to paste that in. So the code where we instantiate and then when we position. And I'll just get rid of these empty lines. And we just save that off. So what we're doing there is just adding an extra check. It shouldn't be really necessary to do that, but it will help to prevent any errors. I'll just tidy up the comments and we'll save that off also. Let's downsize Visual Studio and bear with me. I'll just grab my controller. Let's plug this in. And we'll hit play. So just to remind you, it's actually muted audio, so the audio effects still work, but it's just for the purposes now of recording. So I'm not trying to talk over any music sound effects that are playing. So let's select the black robot again. We'll move back and we'll try the special move. So as you can see, the special move is working now. Let's just stop that for a moment. Let's come back to the S1 movement. And we're going to come to the void start now. After we get the rigid body component, in fact we'll do this separately, it'll be cleaner. So we'll use get component, open and close brackets. Again we want the rigid body, come to the end, open and close brackets again, dot use gravity, and we're going to set that to false. So let's put this into the comments. We'll say set rigid body. Let's put rigid bodies gravity to false on startup. And that will just help when we actually attach this script to the particle effect that we're actually going to use, rather than that circle or sphere that we've got now. As I said, that's only a placeholder. And while we're here, we'll actually want to get some more code in place. So let's use private game object underscore hit explosion. Close that line off into the comments. So we'll say defines naming convention for the hit explosion prefab. And we'll come to the bottom. We'll actually put this just before the last close bracket. Again, private void hit explosion. Open and close brackets, open and close again. Underscore hit explosion. That's going to equal instantiate open and close brackets resources dot load open and close brackets again inside the brackets speech marks, and we'll need a naming convention, so let's use sp1 hit explosion. And we'll come to the end of the line, we'll say comma, and we want type of open and close brackets inside the brackets game object. Let's come to the, and actually I've made a mistake there, that we'll get rid of those two close brackets. Put them at the end as game object. Let's close that line off. Let's break this up for commenting. So we'll say here set. We'll use the variable's name. Hit explosion to equal instantiate the I'll just use that naming convention, so sp1 explosion from the resources folder into the scene as a game object. And of course we need to position it, so underscore hit explosion dot transform dot position equals a new vector3. Let's open and close brackets. We'll come inside the brackets, but we'll enter. We'll start breaking this up now. So transform dot position dot x, comma. We want transform dot position dot y, comma, and the same again. We don't need to make any modifications at the moment, so let's just close that line off. And we'll put this into the comments, so we'll say set position to equal again, I'll just copy and paste the naming convention in to equal position x-axis of this game object. So what this is doing, when we just use transform.position.x in this way, it will actually take that position from the game object that this script is attached to, and that's our special move projectile. Obviously, when we want to instantiate the hit explosion, we want to do it at the same position, so we can just use this object's position to instantiate another. So position y-axis of this game object, and we'll just do the same again. Let's just copy and paste that in. Of Z. So let's have a look. On trigger enter, this is where we want to call this function, and we need to do it obviously before we destroy the game object. So let's just hit explosion, open and close brackets, close that line off, and we'll just put that we call that function. And we'll just copy that line, and again we'll put it here. And we'll just tidy up the code. So obviously if we hit the opponent, we need the hit explosion, but also if we hit something else. I'm sure all of your games are different, so some of you may have walls, boundaries, some of you may have breakable objects, and we still want to have the hit explosion happen if that's the case. So let's save that off there. I'm actually going to leave it here for this lesson, and we'll test this out in the next lesson. And the reason for that is we're going to create the hit explosion prefab, and if we have time we may actually get rid of the sphere and actually create another another particle system to replace it. So as I said, we'll pick that up in the next video, then we can test it all out, and we'll begin to see how it's going to look once it's completed. Obviously it won't be completed, just you'll get a better idea. So let's leave it here. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.